Hello and welcome back to Invincible Asia. I'm George Clark and this is another episode of Show and Tell where I'm going to share with you what I picked up in San Francisco. Don't forget folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the video and all that jibber jabber, and thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia. So I just got back from San Francisco last night. I was there for the last week. I had a blast. It was an interesting city, some greatness about it. Great Chinatown, of course. Had a lovely time walking around Chinatown and going to the Bruce Lee exhibition, which I'm going to put a video out very, very soon because you need to see this place. It is a bit of a hidden gem. If you're traveling to San Francisco, you need to check this out. But I did pick up some great movies along the way. Not as much as I had hoped. I really thought I was going to get lucky in San Francisco's Chinatown. Much like with New York's Chinatown, there's an abundance of DVD stores. Unfortunately, here in San Fran, there was very, very few. So I have 3 sets. I did pick up some in Chinatown. I picked up a few more in San Francisco, or perhaps America's last rental store called New Wave, and then I picked a few more up on my last buy at Amoeba Music, which was just incredible to see. They had like over 50,000 movie titles on sale, so I really had to behave myself there. But first of all, yes, I'm going to start with the Chinatown collection, and the first one from that is Andy Lau's wonderful Prince of Temple Street, a movie that I have been dying to see for some time, and more so since my trip to Hong Kong where I got to go to Temple Street, which was wonderful to finally experience that. But yes, this is a movie that has definitely been on my list for some time. These were all pretty much $5 a piece in the one store that I found in Chinatown, and the little elderly Chinese couple that were there, although they didn't speak much English, were very, very accommodating and had a great fun picking movies with me and telling me certain ones that I should get, that they were amazing, but I pretty much had the most of them, to be honest. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 titles from Chinatown. That was probably the only 6 that I really didn't have in what they had in this store, which is really, really stupid. Anyway, Prince of Temple Street, released by World Video and Supply, stars Andy Lau, Joey Wong, Ng Man Tat, Denny Yip, and many others, of course. They have taped together the cover here, so I will pop that off and see what's inside. Yes, here we have nothing too special, of course. This isn't a boutique Blu-ray label, but it is the original language version with English subtitles, which is just fantastic. Okay, so next up from the same store is the wonderful Sammo Hung produced Pom Pom, somewhat of a spin-off of the Lucky Stars series. I have some Pom Pom movies kicking about, I think mostly on VCD, but this is the first and I've been dying to see it for some time. So here we have it, the late Richard Ng, unfortunately, who left us earlier this month, or perhaps just at the end of May there. But yes, this produced by Sammo Hung, stars John Shum, Richard Ng, Denny Yip again, of course, from Prince of Temple Street there, and many, many others. Really excited to check this out, and I do believe, if I'm correct, that there is a Jackie Chan cameo in there also. Of course, Universe have released many of the titles behind me here on the wall, and they do come in their original Cantonese language option with Mandarin option as well, and English subtitles inside your typical silver disc from the Universe collection. But yes, very, very excited, and again, a $5 pickup. The third title from the same shop is the fantastic Hidden Man, a movie that I have been trying to get my hands on for some time. Although I could pick it up online, it was just a wee bit out of my price range, to be honest. I think Well Go perhaps released it there on Blu-ray, but I have been dying to see this for some time. The great Eddie Peng is in there among many others, and I don't know too much about it. I just know that it is a movie that I have been dying to see. If I could just get into it, I could share it with you, but they've taped all their little covers closed, which is highly annoying. Okay, so yes, there's the back, and it folds open in a bit of a broken cover here, as you can see. Inside is just a blank cover there with the disc itself wrapped in plastic. I am going to be checking this one out first. As I say, it's been a movie that I have been dying to see for a while now. But this is pretty cool. This is a nice spread, as you can see. And I am a huge fan of Eddie Peng. I think he is amazing. Jiang Wen film. Oh, right. Okay. Cool. Right. Yes. We're more excited now. Brilliant. Okay. Dying to get into this one. Next up from the same shop is the very fun and very forgotten 2019 Stephen Chow directed film, New Kind of Comedy, which I just thought was hilarious. I caught this on Netflix in Hong Kong when I was out there in 2019. Really enjoyed it. Big fan of the original Kind of Comedy, starring Stephen Chow, of course. So didn't know what to expect from this, but it had plenty of great laughs in there. Bit of a dodgy cover there. It looks like it's been trimmed down to fit in, but inside the disc looks pretty legit, and I'm quite happy to get this. There is, of course, English subtitles with it there, which I'm more than happy with. Theatrical trailers on there, photo galleries, not too many more extras, but yes, another happy purchase for $5. So the last title from the same shop, another $5 purchase, is the fun but not amazing Jeff Lau comedy, Kung Fu Cyborg Metallic Attraction, starring Wu Jing. This should have been much better, but it wasn't, unfortunately. But I still enjoyed elements of it, which is fine. I mean, for $5 and to finally have this in my collection, I'm quite happy with that. And it is a pretty cool cover, I have to say. Of course, comes Cantonese and Mandarin language options, with English subtitles, a making of, and some trailers in there. Just pop this open. It's much like the Hidden Man cover there, where it just kind of falls apart. Inside you've got the same spread, and pop that out there, and the disc comes wrapped up. It's a double disc case, which is odd, but I don't think there was two discs with it generally. And then of course this cover spreads out like so. So that was all from the first store in Chinatown. I did manage to find a second store that really only had one title that I wanted. That title was the Tai Sing release of Bet 2 Basic, starring Jordan Chan and Yuen Hua. I think Chingar Lok's in there also, yes. This was $1, which I was super excited about. And to be honest, I should have grabbed more. They had quite a number of these DVDs lying around, and I should have picked up more. From the stars of Young and Dangerous and Kung Fu Hustle. But yes, this inside, it's stuck. This is something I find Americans do a lot. They pop their sticker on top. Inside you've got the disc there as normal. But this is the Tai Sing release. Very basic, Bet to Basic looking. Comes with Cantonese and Mandarin language options with English subtitles. I don't see if there is any extra features there, but yeah, excited to see it and super happy that I picked it up for $1. Okay, so after my trip to Chinatown, I went for a very long walk, or I should say we went for a very long walk from the Castro up over. The hills in San Francisco are mental. I mean, my calves are still burning. I don't think I've walked as far and climbed as many hills than I did in the past week in San Francisco. But I had to because of this rental DVD store and VHS. They still have VHS, they had DVDs, they had graphic novels, they had Blu-rays, 4Ks, but this is one of the last surviving rental stores called New Wave video store, which is definitely worth a visit if you're heading out to San Francisco. Now, the guy who runs the place, Colin, was super nice. He actually offered to give me these 4 titles for free, but I did make a donation for them because he was being extremely generous about it. There was much more there. I just didn't want to get greedy. And I had quite a number of what he had in the collection. But the first one that I picked up from him was The Legend of Speed, which I have not seen yet. Of course, I'm a fan of Full Throttle and others. I just wanted to kind of get this to finally have the chance to check that out there. Cantonese Mandarin version with Chinese and English subtitles. Doesn't really say if there's any extra features there, but just wanted to finally be able to see this Ekin Cheng movie with Cecilia Chung there and Kelly Lam, of course. Don't know who it's directed by Andrew Lau, of course it is. Inside, the disc looks just like the front cover here, and that he did have that on sale. Oh no, actually he didn't have it on sale. It was bought in Amoeba, so obviously he got it in as a trade-in or something, but it was bought in Amoeba for $6.99. But yes, super glad to finally pick this up. The next title that I found in his shop was Dragon Loaded 2003, the Ronald Cheng comedy, which I haven't seen any of the Dragon Loaded or Dragon Reloaded movies, so I am super excited to finally get to see this. Directed by Vincent Koch, also starring Eric Chang, a few other familiar faces that I can see there. But yes, not expecting too much, but I'm sure it will be a laugh. Inside, the disc is as so, and there is a reversible cover there advertising some other films, it seems. Yes, Hysteria and Romancing Hong Kong with Aaron Kwok. There we have it. But yes, it looks a bit wild, perhaps similar to the Inspector Wears Skirts series, but yeah, excited to finally have that, and yeah, the second purchase as such in New Wave. So the third was one that I was super excited to see on his shelf, and the first, actually probably the first one that I grabbed because it kind of caught my attention straight away, and that is the Yuen Biao movie Fight for Love, also starring KK Chung, with action from Chin Gar Lok, kind of a late 90s movie, I think around 97, 98. Don't know too much about it. Obviously not a classic because it hasn't really been pushed or talked about by fans, but it is one that I have wanted to have in my collection for some time. I do have A Boxer Story, which I was quite disappointed with, and I have a funny feeling this may go down the same road because they're quite similar in theme, cover and cast, and I think it might just slightly disappoint me. Unfortunately, this one doesn't come with English subtitles, but I'm still going to enjoy it nonetheless. Inside cover and disc looks just like so. No reversible cover, but again, very new looking, very beautiful to have, and just happy to finally have picked this up. And the last title that I picked up in New Wave was the Hong Kong release of Lust Caution, starring Tony Leung here, of course. I do have the UK release, or the Western release, because I did see it on the shelf in his place. Will I get into this in time to show you? I don't think so. But this, once I saw this on there, I thought, well, I have not seen the uncut version, and I'm guessing that this is it. I haven't matched the running times yet before making this video. I should have done that perhaps. That would have been smart. But this is a much more serious looking cover than the UK release, and is slapped with the big Cat 3 symbol on there. Does come with in Mandarin language with English subtitles. Let's see, does it have English subtitles actually? Now my eyes are focusing here. Maybe it doesn't, but again, that's okay. I have got the UK release, I have seen it. I do know what's going on there, but just to be able to see this and match it up, I'm going to look here quickly for okay, so just check the UK release there. It runs for about 7 minutes shorter than this version does. So there's a good 7 minutes or so of footage not seen on the UK release. So I'm happy to have this in my collection. Inside, it is just as such. Where it looks like a lot of things have been kind of marked out here by marker, obviously, and inside the disc is wrapped. Looks like it may have been picked up in a Chinatown store and then given to him in a trade-in. But yeah, I'm just glad, as a collector, to have it here in my collection. So then my husband and I made the long trek up Haight Street to Haight and Ashbury, where Amoeba Music was sitting just waiting for me to burst through their doors and spend an absolute fortune. And it was here that I managed to got my hands finally on 88 Films copies of Police Story 3 Super Cop, Magnificent Warriors, Arrow releases of Warriors 2, Hand of Death, and many, many others. I just could not afford to pick these up right now, which was very unfortunate because there were certainly releases there, especially with Sean Longmore's artwork, that I did want to collect and take home with me. But it kind of just got out of hand, and I really was, because it was the last day of the holiday, running out of funds. So I didn't want to go overboard. But what I did pick up, I thought was quite a good bargain. The first being this 1998 Taiwanese animated feature for $1. Called Grandma and Her Ghost, which I'm super excited about seeing. It looks very Studio Ghibli inspired. I guess, should I say Studio Ghibli meets Mr. Vampire. I'm very excited to see it though. It should be a lot of fun. But yeah, it was only $1. So I couldn't pass up on that. The next title, and another dollar buy, was Akira Kurosawa's The Bad Sleep Well. A classic thriller, I think from 1960, around that period of time, starring Toshiro Mifune. Toshiro Mifune there. I have not seen this. This is definitely one Akira Kurosawa movie that I have not seen. I am super excited though to have picked it up, not just for $1, but it was just one I had never caught wind of or heard talk of. This is a Hong Kong DVD release, mind you. It is on the Maya label there. But yeah, very, very excited to see this. I think it's all in black and white, but I am a massive fan of Japanese cinema from that period. So super excited to see this. And also in the same store for $2.99, I managed to pick up the late Ringo Lam's Sky on Fire, starring Daniel Wu, which I have yet to see. So I was super excited to finally get my hands on this. It was a bit of a surprise to see it there, but they did have quite a number of Hong Kong titles on offer. A lot of them I did have, a lot of them maybe they were asking a wee bit too much for. But yes, it was great to pick this up for such a bargain. $2.99 is great price, but yes, super excited to see this. And finally, last but not least, my only Blu-ray purchase of the whole trip, and that is Jet Li's Fong Sai-yuk 1 and 2, or The Legend 1 and 2 as it is named in America. I'm not too sure who released this Blu-ray set. I can't see anything named on there, to be honest. However, it is region free, which is wonderful, and presented in full HD, which I am more than excited for because it's about bloody time. Of course, I really can't wait for someone like 88 Films or Eureka to do a double bill on these movies, which would be wonderful. This was $29. $29 for the double feature. This was the one I spent the most money on, but just because I thought I may as well just spoil myself a little. The cover itself is a wee bit bumped and damaged, but that's how I bought it. But here we have it. It's that typical artwork from the Dragon Dynasty kind of release, which CineAsia then released here in the UK. Inside, the cover slides out as such, and oh, what do we got here? We've got Legend of Fong Sai-yuk 1, of course, special features on there. Hit Hard and Fly High, an exclusive interview with director and legendary Hollywood fight choreographer Corey Yuen. Not legendary Hong Kong fight choreographer, but legendary Hollywood fight choreographer. The Pen is Mightier Than the Sword, an exclusive interview with writer Jeff Lau. New audio commentary with Chris Pogali, theatrical trailer, and then you've got Cantonese language and English language options, which is great with the choice of English subtitles. Then you've got Legend of Fong Sayuk 2, which its special features only come with the theatrical trailer, which is unfortunate, but same language and subtitle options, which is very, very decent. Inside, they're both on one disc there. So yeah, I mean, an interesting buy. The pound to the dollar isn't amazing at the moment. Unfortunately, it's definitely the first trip I've taken to America where it has seemed more expensive than usual. I usually, when I head out there, I head up Walmart, I head up the Chinatowns and a lot of things like that, where I pick up an absolute load of movies for a relatively cheap price, but not this time. So yes, this probably worked out about £25 for me, 24, £25 for me at the rate at the moment. But excited to watch it and see these movies in full HD. So there we go. That is my full buy of movies from my trip to San Francisco this week. Definitely was a fun time, I have to say. Yes, disappointing in terms of the amount of video stores that are left to choose from, which is unfortunate. But everything else about it was great to see. The Chinatown trip was fantastic. I probably was there about 3 or 4 times throughout the week, and then of course, as I mentioned, I will put out the video of the Bruce Lee exhibition, because you've got to see that and you need to support that. That would be fantastic. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Join me next time for another show and tell, and of course don't forget to check out everything here on the channel, because there are just too many videos to rhyme off. Thanks for watching. So thank you once again for watching another video here on Invincible Asia. Don't forget you can check out hundreds of others here on the channel. You can also show your continued support by heading over to my new merch store, or by checking out invincibleasia.com, where you can read my full movie reviews, and follow me on Instagram at InvincibleAsia. Until next time though, enjoy your Kung Fu, and I will see you soon.